All right, this is Benny back for another video here. It's 9:48, so a little news came out. I just want to review quickly because this is as far as I mapped it out really to the upside without talking further. And just want to show you what happened here. You know, we had a lot of back and forth through the open, so there was a lot of, as I said, I'd said that it would probably be very choppy, and it is. And you've seen some moves, if you're watching this, that are very frightening. If you're in a trade, it's almost like the price is here in one moment and it appears somewhere else in the next moment, and it's not quite like that. I mean, if it's like that, you've got a data problem, but it's quite frightening. But why don't we do this in reverse, because you know, it could always come back through the upside. And this is where I said I put in this arrow, so this is probably the primo if you're going to try to short this between the value area low and this high. How about that? As they say on the Dr. Phil show, as I've been, that's my running joke lately. How about that? Okay, cash you outside. Anyway, you know, it looks like maybe they're going to come back up here, but I kind of wonder that's not going to happen for another 10, 11 minutes. You know, it just looking at that range, you know, I kind of can see the B period. Now, if we do open up in here and B and truck on up, you know, we're going to either have another massive opening range like yesterday, or we could be headed to the upside. So we're getting some pops here. Probably buyer going to step in here above the yesterday's high. But anyway, it's just too jerky. You know, if you get in here, good luck. Okay. So, all right. So I just want to point that out. I did take a snapshot of it because, let me see here. Pull it up for you one moment. I'm going to try to do this because it's hard to remember what happened or to talk about it later. And where's my little folder? Come on. There it is. Okay. Okay. So, well, kind of we were down there when I opened up the screen, but I took this snapshot. Very easy to do. I have a little thing down here. Just click it, boom, drag it, and then hit enter, and it saves it. So, you know, this was good for several points. It probably will be good for a lot more if we don't take out that high. You know, obviously, if you'd want to be in this on multiple lots to really take advantage, because you definitely would want to take some profits if you want to hang around through this noise. All right, so let me back up to the first trade. Okay, so as you can see, this is the open, the red arrow here. I'll do it. I'll go back to the chart in a second because this is still remained. We haven't taken out the low. I had said that down here would be the primo. Well, I shouldn't keep saying primo. This would be a better of the two. This would be aggressive. This would be more moderate. Now within this aggressive little area, the top of it is way more aggressive, right? This is like an area. Okay, you can see it came in the area. You know, it could have. Here, let me go to the chart. Actually, be easier. So I personally wouldn't want to like short this again. But you know, now it's come back because it's like I don't see them. Yeah, it's going to pop, it looks like. Kind of want to watch that, but yeah, see how it popped? Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, one could have gotten long against here, but also there was a lot of stabbings to the downside, and you know, yeah, look at that. See? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I like to watch it too, you know. Let me go back down here to what happened in the morning. So, you know, we had a lot of back and forth, and then finally it started to probe to the downside. And I put this little arrow in case we did come through to kind of remember. It could have been here. Let me use a little line tool. It could have like reversed from right there. Could reverse from this POC in the top of this B high here. Could have reversed right there. Could have reversed right there, which it did. Sorry, or could have like come through down here. So this would be in this more aggressive area. This was aggressive because now you're trading in range like within the first 3 minutes. That's aggressive right there. So this is really aggressive, and this would have been less aggressive inside that aggression. Aggressiveness, not aggression. So there you go. This would have been a little more conservative, but it's still, once again, we are in range. And also, it's something to point out when you get around the VPOCs areas where there's a lot of volume, there's often a lot of chop, a lot of things being sorted out in those areas. So, I could turn this blue here, but this would be one heck of a, a tail, you know, if we don't kind of take back some of this. One thing to notice, this is just, I'm not used to this really, even after all this past year. This is really thin. It just doesn't seem like a lot of volume, and it's reflected in the book. It's just so thin. So, all right, so that's my commentary. Let's talk about going forward. It's kind of hard to do that at this point without B opening and see what happens there. And it's even harder when the initial balance is not formed. But as it stands, might be safe to turn this blue, as this being an area where, that looks a little thin. You want to kind of watch, like, you might get a pop right off of here. Probably get a lot of choppiness right in here, and maybe in a few more stabs up where you could grab a few ticks, point or two, or maybe not. Every once in a while the slamming goes on, and that's kind of that's hard to deal with. It's okay. I say it's hard to deal with. Let's say you're just trading one lot, and you're not risking a lot. You're either right or out, like really quick. Psychologically, how tough are you? How many times, think about how much you like to be right in a conversation. Think about when you're wrong, or excuse me, when you're right, but the other person, thinks you're wrong. And are you going to argue that point? You can't argue with the market. You might be right. This previous day's high, quote unquote, should have held. And in a way it is. The VPOC moved up. We're moving back up now. But as far as getting in and putting a little risk on to take a little, quick bite out. And again, I'm not talking, there may be traders who watch this, and right now there's not very many, but there may be a trader watching this like, oh, they don't use stops like that close at all, or they don't hit the flatten button that quickly at all. They may pick a direction for the day, and get in early, and then they may take some heat. I mean, I work with a trader who just lets it come against him just way. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. But at any rate, you can see this worked. How well it worked, I don't know. Everything's, got to be qualified. I don't know. Right now, this should be gray, because it's kind of like, we don't know. Is this going to be an area where they sell from, or is this going to be an area where they buy from? I'm tending to think it's a little of both until B is settled out, and B will probably retrace to half back. When I say probably, all I'm saying is odds. The odds are higher that will happen than the other scenario where we just open up here in the top, couple of ticks and just keep on going. Like this is a straight stick, the initial balance. It's just really unlikely, but it's not impossible. It does happen. My thoughts are that we'll probably hang around here. So this close to the open, we'll hang around here a little bit. It may make a few more, a little push up. And then when B opens, it could be an open drive down. The day right now has that feel. It's a little like the wild west, it seems like. So I don't know. Right now, if we opened and drove down, we'd have a selling tail. So I was going somewhere with this thought, and now I don't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, I don't remember. It's not important. It'll come back to me, or it'll come up in another video. So, okay, going forward, I would say if we start to, let's look at this profile split out. Okay, now we have this O period, this drop, open, drive down. It was a runoff period. I think the odds are high that we are going to get up to 1075, at least. Okay, so right now, as long as we stay above, well, we could take it in stages. As long as we stay above the previous day's high, for a while and B and get more volume built up here, if the VPOC moves up, we're definitely more bullish. Okay, if we trade down to the overnight high, it's still bullish in my opinion. I don't really see it being bearish until we get down into the value area, and that's a long ways away, really, even with these wide swings. Let me move over to something else more interesting right now. This goes to what I was talking about with the this head and shoulders pattern I talked about. Now, I had also said when I drew this little line here, as they say on the Dr. Phil show, ha ba da. I really, you can tell, enjoy saying that. Try it; it'll catch on for you. No, I'm just kidding. It's kind of trashy, but it's funny. So at any rate, I'd said that, we might grind sideways to downward like this is like a slope. Well, right now, that's what's happening. Now, we can see this like really pop up over 2,500. That's not too far away. Over 2,510, like we could get up there. This could really move up. We could see a bar like this today. I really think we could. And I think the odds are pretty good. But if this is the high area for the day is up here around 2508, maybe a little throw over this 20 moving average, and then it kind of retraces back down. We may do this for a couple days, just kind of flag down a little bit before it resumes to the upside. I don't know. As I say all the time, I don't know. But we do have to consider there's I got to put that arrow tool in here. We got this area right here that's low volume, and then this is all acceptance, right? So let's look at it that way. Let's look at this. Okay, so that puts us up here by this moving average, puts us over this high from yesterday. This is again a 24-hour period. This be overnight high. That's kind of where I see us going today. How much further? I don't really know. But one thing that will happen, or not will happen, could happen. I had a better version of the head and shoulders. Let me see if I can find it. You know where it is? It's over here. Oh, let me also do one other thing here. So it's Friday. We have a reversal pattern right now on the weekly chart. Okay. And once again, the 2508 number comes into play. It's the top of this little range that I felt might be important because there was a lot of volume traded in here. It sort of consolidated for a while. And again, it gels with what we saw and I drew over here on the volume, it's like 30 days, but obviously it goes back further than these days. Let's see. Oops. Okay, so moving into the 30-minute or daily, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know. I must have either hit it or erased it. I'm not sure where it went. 60-30. No. Well, that's good. I got a little disorganized with my charts here. All right, we'll just have to work with this one. I think this was the one that was more clear, the regular trading hours. So why don't I do this? As long as you're with me, feel free to stop the video if you want. But I'm going to want to hide all multiple selection. There we go, cleaned it up. Okay, so we can see. Let's go one further. I'm gonna clear all this up. So I need a separate clean chart going forward. Okay, I'll do that. Well, cleaned up a little bit. A little more. Let's just do a little more. Okay. Okay. So Let's take our zigzag tool. We're going to call this right here the head and shoulders we're looking for. All right, let's make it a little bigger. Now let's see, I'm going to kind of guess this low is along that neckline. So let's see here. Let's go with the ray tool. And these I like to, hopefully I didn't just, okay, good. As they say on the Dr. Phil show, say it with me. How about that? Okay. So I'm looking higher. Now, if this is not going to come, if this is the lower shoulder, let's look at something here. Whoops, that's not it. You might say, well, what is this? Well, I'm going to make it a different color, okay? I'm going to make it purple. So I'm going to try to project where we might go. Not in one day, but eventually here. Basically up to this volume point of control, okay? Maybe higher, maybe take out this high over here. Not today, but that may be where we're headed here as this plays out. So kind of figure, if you figure cyclical, it may take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, this may take us well into all of next week if we get there. You know, it's not, it doesn't have to, but that's just a you know, something to look at. Let me move it, and there you go. Now I'm gonna do a shameless promotion here because I'm actually considering. All right, we've opened in B. Now this was what I thought might be the more unlikely without getting some retracement. Nevertheless, the odds are greatly, or okay, let me say it again. I talked about this O period. I don't know that I mentioned short covering round. This is ripe for short covering. Okay, so that's why I say we might get up to 1025, I think, or 1075. So I'm looking for us to truck on up. It may happen all in B period, and then we might consolidate around here. You know, hey, it could keep on going. I have a zone up here that's, I may want to adjust this, but right now it's 1350 to 12. I didn't put this on today. This is from before. I would look, and again, right now the play would be to buy. You can buy against the A high, possibly. You know, be careful. Look at that. You know, seller's still in the market. So if B does all of a sudden flush, this might be your first stopping point, maybe your only stopping point, and then it comes back on up. So it's a good idea in these moments to look at what's going on in a candle, in my opinion. See, this means that sellers are in control right now. Buyers were in control. Sellers are fighting back hard. All right, so if you like this kind of live commentary, if you like my morning, you know, if you've been watching any of these and you think it's pretty right on guideline, you know, I'm not telling you where to get in or get out exactly. Those are your calls, or whether to get in or get out. That's your call, man. I'm just showing you what I see, and if you're interested in that, I'm looking at maybe not anytime in the next few months, but eventually, or maybe sooner than I think. I'd like to have a room for a couple hours every morning, and I probably will do a trial, for a week. If you like it, great, and I think it's worth $1 a day. Don't you? If you do think it's worth $1 a day and there's like 20 trading days a month, please tell me in the comments. I'd appreciate that. I paid a lot of money for my education. I've taken a lot of blows to learn what I know. I'm no expert. I'm not a master trader, in my opinion. I'm definitely not. I'm still in. Every day I learn something. Every day I realize how much more I need to improve, things I need to work on. Nevertheless, if you're just starting out, or if you've been trading a while and have some rough areas, or if you haven't seen the markets like this before, I don't mean the way they're trading. I mean, if you haven't viewed them this way, or you're picking up little insights from me that you think are like, oh, you know, clever or wow, or, you know, that's cool. Because obviously these things do, you know, look, I can't be super modest and remain truthful. The fact is, I'm showing you where this stuff, you know, it's reliable. It's not perfect. It's not guaranteed. It's hey, what do they always say in these things? Reliable but not guaranteed, right? So that's, I didn't even mean to come up with that, but yeah. So like these things are reliable and of course not guaranteed. That goes without saying. I don't even know why they have that disclaimer. I mean, people are that stupid to think that they've got a guarantee, then they got no business in this business. In fact, I don't even know if they got any business being outside of being institutionalized, honestly. So at any rate, okay, I'm starting to get a little just talking to myself. So all right, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll come back later and let me know in the comments. You know, subscribe to my YouTube channel, get alerts, hit the bell when I've got a video up. I'm trying to do more of these broadcasts like live where they can be viewed, but you know, again, I've had tech problems, or I've made some mistakes, or I've said something, I got to edit it out because I feel a little bit like that wasn't necessary, you know. Uh, you know, let me know you're out there. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.